Okay guys, here we go with some help for homework sheet B. The first question is an algebra question. We need to remove some brackets and then do a takeaway. So remember the first bracket, 2x minus 3 means 2x minus 3 times 2x minus 3. So you do your normal method for removing brackets there, whatever it might be, and you'll get an answer. Do the same for the second one, you'll get another answer, and remember you do a great big subtraction sum to get the final answer. Question 2, we have these 2 points. We need to find the equation of the line. So ultimately we're going to use the formula y minus b equals mx minus a. However, before we can do that, we need to know what the gradient is. So the gradient formula is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Just in case anybody's forgot, the first bracket is x1 y1, the second bracket x2 y2. So we now need to substitute the values in. So the 3 is going in here, the 5 is going in here, and then the negative 4 in here, and lastly the 2 in here. If we do all of that, you should get a fraction which will cancel down, and you'll end up with a fraction. Now we need to substitute that fraction, which you've got here, into the formula, and you can pick either the first point or the second point. I think you'll agree the best one to pick is the first one, so that's y minus 5 equals whatever your fraction is, x minus 2. Okay, once you've got that, then we just need to tidy it up, remove the brackets, or if you remember what I showed you in class a couple of days ago, you take the bottom number here and you times that side, you take the top number here and times that side. That way you'll be remove all the fractions. Question 3, find the semi-interquartile range. Okay, now the semi-interquartile range is the upper quartile, take away the lower quartile, divided by 2. That's the formula you should know. So take the 20 numbers which are given in the question, write them out in order, split your list in half, and then split them in half again. This here is a lower quartile, this here is the upper quartile. And then put those numbers into the formula. You can, if you wish, write the numbers as, instead of a great big long list, put the first 10 there, and then put the next 10 there. Same thing, median, this here would be your lower, this here would be your upper. For question 4, factorise. Okay, so I've made it nice and easy, nice positive numbers for you, so should be able to put that in a pair of brackets. Now the second part of the question looks a bit more complicated. However, if you look carefully enough, it's just exactly the same as the first question, but instead of x squared, we've got a plus 3 squared. Instead of 5x, we've got 5a plus 3. And the 6 at the end is identical. So what you need to do for the second part of the question is 2 brackets again. Up the top here, we're going to have x and x at the start, but because we're replacing the x's with a plus 3, in the answer on the second part, we're going to have a plus 3 and a plus 3. Now, if you take the second value from your brackets and bring that down, and the second value here, bring that down, and then tidy the brackets up, you'll get the second answer. Question 5 shouldn't really be too much of a problem. We just need to remember, what do you do when you subtract a negative? What do you do when you add a negative? So just what does that answer come to? Not much help there. Question 6, an equation. Now, in the past, the problem with this equation that some people have said to me is, Mr. S, we don't have a number in the front here. Well, if you never had a number in the front, you wouldn't have the bracket. The number that's actually in the front, you've got to imagine as a 1. So it's 3 and then negative 1 times 5, and then negative 1 times negative 2x equals 4. And then you just solve your equation as normal. X is on one side, numbers on the other. For question 7, we are allowed a calculator. From the picture, we know the angle at the centre is 40 degrees. We know the area is 30 centimetres squared. So we're going to use the area of a sector formula, which is area equals alpha over 360 times pi r squared. And that's the important bit that we're actually looking for. We're looking for the r squared. Because if we have to find the perimeter of this shape, then we're going to need to know what the straight bits are, which is the radius, and we're going to need to know what the curved part is, which is the arc. So we're going to have to find the radius first, then find the curved part, and then add it all together. So, what do we know? We know the area is 30, we know the alpha is 40, times pi, we don't know what the radius is. However, if we just do the process of the 360 needs to move over, the 40 needs to move over, and the pi needs to move over, then we're going to end up with r squared equals, and you can fill those bits in, and then square rooting that tells you what the radius is. Once you've got the radius, the next thing we've got to consider is what's the arc. So we're now going to use the arc formula, which is alpha over 360 times pi d. So the angle's still 40, pi is pi, and the diameter is double whatever your radius was. Get your answer for your arc, and then to finish the question off, we need to work out the perimeter, and the perimeter of the shape is just add together your radiuses and the arc. Question 8, we have a cylinder which contains 5 litres and we need to work out its height, h. So the formula for the volume of a cylinder is one you should remember. Volume equals pi r squared h. We know from the question that the volume is 5 litres, but we can't use 5 litres. We need to turn that into 5,000 centimetres cubed. 5 litres is 5,000 centimetres cubed. Equals pi times, question tells us the radius is 8, times the height. Now it's a wee bit like the last question. The pi needs to move over, the 8 squared needs to move over, and then you're left with what the height is. Question 9, we need to calculate the red line at the bottom of the triangle. Okay, looks a bit difficult at first, however, if you split the triangle down here to make 2 triangles, so there's your left hand one, there's your right hand one. Okay, let's put the information back in we've got. This is 60, this is 6, this is 40, this is 8. If we do SOHCAHTOA and work out that side there, and then we repeat SOHCAHTOA again and work out that side there, then if we add these two answers together, then that's going to tell us what the red line is. So question 9 might look a wee bit difficult, but it's actually just SOHCAHTOA twice. Now, okay, here we go with the last question, number 10, one about the bus prices. So the bus prices increased by 10%. Unfortunately, we don't know what price they started at, so I'm going to say that they started at 100%. So add on 10% of that number and you'll get the new percentage increase. And then 6 months later, whatever that number is, you lose 10% of that number. And that will tell you what your percentage now is. And that percentage now is why Federico was wrong.